Okay, it has been a little while since we have done the Dynasty trade show. I've got about 20 to 30 trades just sitting here ready to be reviewed. So I'm going to get to it. Thank you to everyone who supports the channel. And heads up, if you want your trades to be reviewed on this show, all you need to do is become a Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND. And we will be able to be looking at your trades this time next week. Do me a favor, like the video to show some love. The first trade we are looking at is from 7 Goat Rings. He says 12 team full PPR, start 11, 2 quarterbacks. I own A-Rich, Jackson, Tua, and now Young. Just wanted the liquidity of Young over Watson. And I also now own the 101, 102, and the 104. Do I still go 2 quarterbacks with 2 of those 3 picks? Leaning Marvin Harrison Jr. and quarterback 1 with the 101 and 102, knowing 103 badly needs a quarterback, but they have been trying to get the 102 and 101, but aren't willing to pay. A lot of 101, 102, 101 quarterback talk there, but let's look at the trade. So it looks like he gets Bryce Young for Deshaun Watson. I don't mind that deal. That's relatively even. And the other deal here, it looks like he gets the 104 for Jalen Waddle and the 109. That's a pretty even deal, but I do like the quality over quantity side of that. And I'm not going to sit here and say that Waddle isn't a quality player, but he is clearly stuck behind Tyreek Hill, and getting inside the top 4 of this year's rookie draft in a 2 quarterback league in particular with all this quarterback hype. I mean, that is going to be, I think something that pays off for you big time. As far as the picks, it's too early to say, you know that, Goat Rings, but I would just say best player available. If that ends up being the quarterbacks, go quarterbacks. At the moment, I think you go Marvin and a quarterback, and then at the 104, you can grab another quarterback if you want there as well. Shade 780, what is up? He says, is this trade fair for both sides? So it looks like one side receives Jordan Addison in the 103. The other side receives Chris Olave in the 110. As much as I love Chris Olave, this is the type of move I would be looking to make to tier down from Olave. And getting inside that top 3 of a super flex league, even a 1 quarterback league. In a 1 quarterback league, you're guaranteed to get a Dunze or Bowers if it's tight end premium. But in super flex, when Marvin and Caleb are off the board, you have your pick of the litter. Do you want Drake May? Do you want Jaden Daniels? Do you want Malik Neighbors? Whereas the 110 could still be valuable, but it's going to be nowhere near the value of a 103. So I love the trade down, the tier down is what I meant to say there for Addison in that deal. Goat Rings is back. 12-team full PPR, start 11 non-tight end premium. I have Pitts and Andrews with the 107, looking to try and get the 104. Laporta wasn't getting me there. I tried. So it looks like he sends away Laporta for Stevenson in the 107. I mean, look, it's non-tight end premium. So I don't really like hate this deal. He says that he has Pitts and Andrews, so that's why he sent away Laporta. I don't know though. I mean, like the 107 is Brock Bowers' range. And we would hope that Brock Bowers would put up the numbers that Laporta did. I mean, that would be the dream scenario for Brock Bowers to do exactly what Sam Laporta just did. So I know it's not a tight end premium format, but I just feel like this might have been a case of just trading just to trade. I'm not saying that Rome Odunze isn't more valuable than Laporta, but keep in mind, you might not even have Laporta or Odunze available at the 107. You might be stuck with going Brock, and then you could have just had Laporta anyway. I guess this might show my lack of belief in Stevenson long term, but I don't know. I'm not like overly enthused by the deal either way, but I get it. You had a lot of tight ends. It's hard to get more value than that, but yeah, that's a tough one, man. Sparrow says 10-team full PPR, start 11. It is a tight end premium in a 6-point passing touchdown league. My team's foundation is really good, but nowhere near enough assets to actually compete. I have Lamar, Anthony Richardson, Levis, and Rodgers at quarterback, Javonte and Chuba at running back after the trade now, and have JJ, Chase, Garrett Wilson, and Tank after the trade. Other than that, though, there isn't really anything. Okay, let's have a look at the deal. So he gets Javonte Williams, Tank Dell in the 103. Sends away Brian Robinson, the 201, and the 101. And yeah, this is, like, for me, I think a lot of people are going to tell you not to do this trade, Selmo, but I love this deal. I've said this many times. I have no problems trading down from the 101 to the 103 if it means I'm going to get a lot of pieces that I love. You get Tank Dell, who he was really turning it on late. This could be a top 12 wide receiver in a lot of people's dynasty rankings. You get Javonte Williams, probably a lock for the top 15 in a lot of people's dynasty running back rankings. And you still stay in that top 5. You still get your choice of May, Neighbors, or Daniels. So I love this trade back. I think it's a fantastic deal for you, and I'm a big fan of it for sure. Zaddy Daddy, what is up? He says, neat thoughts on this one. What happened in my league today? I went bonkers because of it, and so did most of the league. No veto league, just trashed the wide receiver values. 12-man Superflex Dynasty, start 10 standard scoring. So I guess no PPR then. So A.J. Brown and $20 of fab. That is hilarious that the $20 of fab was added. Like that's what it took to put the deal over. But for the 108 and the 204, it is a super flex league. But yeah, I mean, A.J. Brown's clearly the most valuable piece in this trade. I'm not going to sit here and say it's like absolutely outrageous, but it sounds like someone just needs to learn their lesson in this league, and they will. They will ultimately learn their lesson in that league. But yeah, the $20 of fab is what makes me laugh personally. I'm like, oh, is that what put it over the edge for you? Goat Rings is back, and he says 10 teams start 11. 4 individual defensive positions. I have Bijan, Gibbs, Achane, Walker, Barkley, Mixon, Rashawn. Jeez. Did not want to move Hall, was trying to move Walker, but now have the 101, the 108, and looking for a wide receiver, and there's a tight end premium. So he gets Rashee Rice, McBride in the 108, sends away Ferguson, Brees, and the 305. Look, I don't hate this deal. I would prefer to be in that like top 7. Do you know what I mean? Like instead of that 8 spot. That 8 spot's a little unknown at the 108. But I do love Rashee Rice. I think he's a great buy low. The fact that this is a 1.75 tight end premium league, McBride's value cannot be under discussed, if you will. Most people's top 3 tight end in Dynasty at this point. So I think it's a pretty good deal for you. I like it. Considering the fact that your running back room is already so deep, I think you did a good job in a start 11 to get really good pieces around the rest of your team. He has another one here. Looks like it's the same team. Looking to retool and get a little younger. He owns 105, 106, 107, 110 in 3 seconds. He gets Puka Nacua and the 110 for McCaffrey. Yeah, I mean, I'll take Puka all day there. I love McCaffrey, but at this point, with how old he is, I'm surprised you got that much in return. And the other deal, he gets the 106 and the 206, sends away DJ Moore and Najee Harris. Look, I do think DJ Moore is worth the 106. I'm very high on DJ Moore. And I think Najee is worth the 206. So this is a pretty even deal, I'd say. And then one more here. He gets Pickens, Downs, the 203 and a first, sends away Tua, Bateman, and the 304. I'm kind of indifferent on this one. It is a or it's actually a 2 quarterback league. The 25 first is projected to be top 3. So that's definitely, if that ends up being top 3, I'll comfortably take that side. But in a 2 quarterback league, those quarterbacks are more valuable than in a super flex format. I'm kind of indifferent, but I do think you got the best part of that deal if that 25 first ends up being top 3. All right, we are cycling through these trades. I hope you guys are enjoying the show here. Win Murder, what's up, my man? Thank you for the support. 12 team start 10 Superflex PPR. He said, made this deal today to make my wide receiver room Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra, Garrett Wilson, Olave, and Godwin. I still have the 105. The 26 first is likely late. Rest of the team is Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Watson, Levis, Brees, Cook, Spears, Goddard, Chig. Okay. All right. So the deal here, it looks like he gets Justin Jefferson, Chris Olave, the 204 in a second. Sends away JSN, the 102, the 103 in a future first. Oh, this is a tough one to digest, man. That is a tough one to digest. The 101 is likely Marvin. So moving the 102 and the 103, which is the best value, will be quarterback. Is it crazy to say that I don't love this deal? Is that crazy, guys? I know it's Justin Jefferson. But you're telling me that's Caleb Williams and Neighbors, or Caleb Williams and Drake May, or Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels over there, and a future first and JSN, who I think is kind of, he's almost, I'm not going to say he's like a throw-in in this deal, but man, I want the chat to tell me. I want you guys to tell me in the comments what you think about this one. I think it's even. I think it's an even deal. But man, if Caleb Williams becomes who he could be, that's what it comes down to. What does Caleb Williams turn into? Because if Caleb Williams becomes a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, I think you regret that deal in a super flex format. But, geez, that is a tough one to wrap your head around, isn't it? I don't think anyone got screwed over by any means. Jeez, let me know what you guys think. Mr. Keys, 12-team, half PPR, start 10, up to 5 wide receivers. My main wide receivers are Zay, Ayuk, Tank Dell, and now DJ, with a few others mixed in. He has a 101, 103, 112, some seconds, thirds, fourths. I see DJ as a low-end wide receiver 1 in Dynasty. Risk if they keep Fields, but I'm betting they go with Caleb. So he bought DJ Moore. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. I love this deal, Mr. Keeves. If people have been tuned into this channel, they know I'm a big DJ Moore guy. Can't believe some people have him ranked as like their wide receiver 18 to 20 in Dynasty. That blows my mind. So this sort of deal, to get a heavy hitter like DJ, I'd pay that every day and twice on Sundays. I think you did great there. Really well done. What's up, Brock? This is a 1 quarterback, half PPR league. He says rounding out wide receiver depth for a 2024 run. So he gets Downs in a third, sends away Burks and Johnston. You know, I'll be honest, like there's no side of this deal that really excites me greatly. I don't really feel like Downs is ever going to be like a top 15 to 20 asset. I know a lot of people do. But with Pittman potentially coming back long term, with questions around Anthony Richardson and his ability to support fantasy wide receivers, all of Josh Downs' fantasy success came from Gardner Minshew. I don't know, dude. I don't really have a strong opinion on this. I think I would actually lean Burks and Johnston. Yeah, I don't have a strong opinion. And that third, remember, it's a 1 quarterback league, so that's almost like a 4th in Superflex formats, as far as how we value it. This is his team afterwards. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I think I would have just rather kept Burks and Johnston and hoped that they turned it around. But I could be really missing the mark here. I could be. Goat Rings is back. 10-team, full PPR, Superflex, start 11. I own Chase, Puka, Waddle, Rice, 101, which is Marvin Harrison, Marquise Deontay, A.J. Brown. Good Lord. All right. He got Jalen Hurts, sends away Dak and T. Higgins. It's a 10-team league. Guys like Jalen Hurts are more valuable in this format. Yeah, I'll take the Hurts side. Chef Cookie, 10-team PPR Superflex, start 3 wide receivers and 2 flexes. I have the 101. Just got last. Quarterbacks are Mahomes, Russ, Bryce, wide receivers. I'm receiving the 104 in this, and I would hold the 1 and 4. So he gets the 104, sends away Higgins, Ferguson, and a second. I mean, yeah, it's a 10-team league. There's no tight end premium that you mentioned here. So you're probably getting like, the question really, I guess, is Malik Neighbors or Higgins, Ferguson in the second. I would go Malik Neighbors there. Again, 10-team league. We'll value those potential elite guys over those, contributing assets. I'll take the Neighbors side of that deal is how I'm viewing it. Brock says another trade in the same league, consolidating. We talked about this in the fantasy hotline, myself and Brock, and I said to him, honestly, dude, I don't have a strong opinion on this one. I don't think Gabe Davis is worth. You're not going to get a 2nd round pick for Gabe Davis in any format, right? He's a free agent. I guess this will all depend on where Gabe Davis ends up, but I don't really envision him ever becoming like a consistent performer in fantasy. So again, just a deal that I don't really have a strong opinion on, if I'm honest. Goat Rings is back, a 10-team full PPR. This is that IDP league. He says, I was comfortable taking Marv at the 101. That's what I was leaning. I have Hurts. He's talking about his quarterback room. He says, getting that 25 first and young and not moving a quarterback was easy for me to do. So he gets... Okay, we sent away the 101 here. He gets Watson, Bryce Young, the 104, a first, the 106 for Sutton Walker, the 101, the 108, and the 301. Okay. This is a lot to wrap your head around, my guy. I like that you stayed in the top 5. You got the 104 there. You know, again, I think this is one of those huge deals where there's just so many variables. Like, how am I supposed to declare a winner? We don't know who Bryce Young fully is yet. Christian Watson hasn't been healthy. We don't know what these draft picks are going to turn out to be. You have a pick in 2025. You know, where is that going to be? We don't know. There's no context there. He says, are you not entertained? I mean, look, this is a blockbuster of a deal. I don't know that I can really give you a clear winner or loser in this deal because there won't be one decided for the next 3 or 4 years. But I don't know, man. Like in a 10-teamer, don't you want to like get that top of the top talent in a 10-teamer? I might approach a 10-team a little bit differently. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. 7 goats is just putting me in a blender here. Hammer says 12-team Superflex, 2-year orphan rebuild. He's got Lance, Locke, and Winston at the quarterback. Oh, no. It's definitely a rebuild here, looking at this roster. He's got the 101. He says, what should I get for Olave, and what would you trade down the 101 to like the 103 plus? Yeah, I mean, we had a trade earlier that was a great example of tearing down from Olave, right? Shades brought this one. Jordan Addison, the 103 for Chris Olave and the 110. Something like that is great, you know, tearing down to that group of names. I'll bring you some names here. By the way, Hammer, this is a question that you can send in your fantasy hotline where we can reply to that much, much earlier. But tearing down from Olave to a Rasheed Rice, a Nico Collins, an Ayuk, a Pittman, a Dell, a JSN, a Higgins, a London, an Addison, Devonta Smith, Jaden Reed as well. Some of those players are going to give you more in return, but those are the kind of pivot moves you want to make to get, you know, another elite asset in return with those names. Let's see. Win Murder, 12-team, start 9 PPR. Running back and tight ends get 1.5 points per reception. This league made a decision to change the Superflex on the fly. No grace period. Dang, I mean, that's not right. If you guys are going to make rule changes, you got to give at least 1 year in advance for people to prepare for that rule change. That's what we do in our leagues, at least. He said, so I made this move to start solidifying my quarterback room, and downgrade to Waddle felt okay, as I see him as a buy right now. Let's have a look. So he gets Waddle, Stroud, the 211 and the 311, sends away Jones, Chase, the 110, and a first. Yeah, I don't mind this deal. Again, Superflex format. Getting rid of Chase is tough, but I think we would all agree that Stroud is going ahead of Jamar Chase in Superflex startup drafts. No doubt about it. He's going ahead of him at this point. He's probably a top 4 pick, whereas Chase is a top 10 to 12 pick at this point in Superflex startups. I guess it will all depend on where that 25 first ends up. I am not a big fan at all of getting rid of my own firsts in the future because you have no idea what sort of injuries are going to happen. You could have a great team and injuries occur and you could accidentally have given up a top 3 pick there. So I would have rather maneuvered somewhere else there instead of that 25 first. But yeah, I don't hate this deal at all. I don't hate this deal at all. I think it makes a lot of sense with your league going super flex. Joey T says 12 team super flex, half PPR and full PPR for tight ends. I have the 102 and 105. With this young team, would you trade Mark Andrews for the 106, presumably Brock Bowers, or just hold on to Andrews? Yeah, I'd be totally fine with doing that. I guess it depends on what you think about Brock Bowers. But I would be totally comfortable moving off of Andrews for the 106. This is a super flex league. Keep in mind that 106 is a controllable value. The 106 is not going to lose value from now until April, even if you don't end up and take Brock Bowers there. So yeah, I would definitely be comfortable taking the 106 there. I would be surprised in most leagues if you could get the 106 for Mark Andrews. Goat Rings, Orphan 10 team. He's retooling, gathering more picks. Fields was his quarterback 3 because he already had Dak and Kyler. So he gets Bryce Young and a 25 first, sends away Justin Fields. I don't mind this deal at all. Kind of taking a lottery at the 25 first and betting on Bryce Young. You could say Bryce Young's future is in question. You could say the same thing about Justin Fields, and we like Fields on this channel, but there's no way I could sit here and tell you that Fields' future isn't in question if Bryce's isn't as well. What's up, Aaron? He says, this trade I pulled off all the way back of week 2/3 of the NFL season on September 20th. My friend's teams collapsed, and that 24 first is the 104. I love that, love that, love that. So he got a 24 first, which ends up being the 104 for DeAndre Swift. That's a fantastic move in hindsight. Really well done. Not a splash, or is it? So it looks like this is a 10-team super flex. 7 Goat Rings gets the 206 for Daniel Jones. With how deep this class is, I'm kind of shocked that I guess Daniel Jones is probably going to be their starter. So this is pretty even value. This is pretty even value, I'd say, based off the market. Aaron is here with another trade. He says, I did a buy low on Gibson right after the fantasy offseason began. Since I have a 0 RB strat in his home league, this is low risk, high reward. So he gets Gibson for Tillman in the 308. I love that deal. Gibson's about to be a free agent. We'll see where he goes. But either way, it's not like you're sending away world beaters to get that deal done. How many trades do we have left? Okay, wow, we're actually going to get through this. Basic Crown says, Devi, 12-team Superflex, start 11. My quarterbacks are Mahomes and Dak with Bo Nix as my only backup. Probably going to shore up that before the season starts. So Casey gets Mahomes, Myers in the 506. Sends away Drake May, Brock Purdy, Ridley, Rashawn, and Downs. Yeah, I don't mind that deal. I don't mind that deal. Obviously, if Drake May ends up being a superstar, you're going to regret it, but there's no way for you to really know that. So, yeah, I don't mind that deal at all. I like that you got the best asset in the deal. And the last one here, if Kevin is looking for a advice, send us a DM on the hotline, my brother. Goat Rings, 10-team Superflex, start 11. This is the tight end premium league with IDP. He's just constantly making moves. He gets Nico Collins, Drake London, the 208, the 110, the 302. Since I feel like every player we have looked at, Goat Rings, they're no longer on your team. He sends away Kincaid, Waddle, Young, and the 206. You know, London and Waddle I view kind of similarly. I would take Nico Collins over Kincaid or Bryce Young right now. I'm fine with this deal. But you are just pivoting all over the place, man. It's just constant pivots. But I do like the deal. I definitely like the deal. I just feel like you're probably not going to have any of the same players when this season starts. But look, that is it for today, guys. A lot of trades on today's show. Very different to how we normally do it. It's very much quick fire. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.
We'll see you very soon. All up. Now that those idiots are done talking, who needs some rankings?
Hell yeah, I need some rankings.
Then use promo code LAND, L-A-N-D, for 30% off any membership at flockfantasy.com.
Oh.
It's so easy, even your grandma could scan that QR code right there.